guys, it's Rebecca. Thank you so much for joining me for today's video. Today's video is going to be my introduction, if you want to call it that, for my makeup I want to use up in 2024. I know it's mid-November still, but since I was able to accomplish or basically finish all the items that I wanted to use in 2023, I had selected some items that are in this bag as my items I wanted to focus on for 2024. And since, like I said, I finished like 98% of the things I wanted to use up in 2023, I noticed that I've started like taking stuff out of here to use it. So before I like pull anything else out of here and I start using it, I figured it'd be better if I just show you guys now what I want to use up. So actually my Panda palette is here. Hold on. There you go. I don't want to spoil that for you guys. I haven't used it yet. I've been focusing on other eyeshadows, but I have my Panda palette here. So a video for this guy will be coming in December. I always introduce it in December, so it'll be a few weeks. So I have my bag here. I guess I should have like separated things into categories. I'm never that organized in my videos. You probably know that. So I'm just gonna dig in here and pull things at random, and hopefully there's some sort of order. So I'm gonna try to pull like the foundations in order. So I can see for sure 4 here, and I think I just have these 4 that I want to use up. So 4 liquid foundations. The first one is this one from Marc Jacobs. I don't know what this is called. Oh, the Supercharged Foundation Genius Gel. This is in the color 38 Beige Deep. You guys know Marc Jacobs no longer has his makeup brand, but I had purchased this at Marshall's when he still had his line. So ooh, sun. So this one is brand new. I am so excited to use it. I haven't been using a foundation right now because I'm using a concealer just on my under eye because my skin has been really nice. So that's this one. That's the first one. Then I have a foundation serum from L'Oreal. This is a True Match Nude Hyaluronic Tinted Serum. These were like all the rage. I think, were they released this year? Maybe around this time last year or early this year, but these used to be like, at least this shade, I'm in the shade 2 3 light, and it was so hard to find this shade. It was always sold out everywhere, and finally I got my hands on it, and so I'm excited to use it. I feel like this is going to be a really light coverage. It's going to be perfect for the summertime. That's when I'm planning on using this guy, and hopefully I enjoy it. I really enjoy the True Match line from L'Oreal. It's one of my favorite foundations that I've ever used, really. And hopefully this is as good as that. So that's that. And then the last full-size foundation that I have is this one from Kat Von D. This is from Kat Von D, not KVD, Kat Von D. So that goes to show how old this is. But this is the True Portrait Liquid to Powder Foundation. And I know Kat from Kitchen Stitch just used one of these up, or was in the process of panning it. But this is kind of like you can see that it's been separated. Can you see? So let me kind of shake it and hopefully mix it really well. There you go. It looks a lot better. But yeah, this is supposed to be 1 fluid ounce. And yeah, this is an oil to powder. Is that what it is? Liquid to powder, sorry. But it does look a little bit oily because it separates. So we'll see how that goes. I don't know if this is my true shade or not. It's in the color Light 021. I feel like it might be too yellow, but I do have another foundation that I can mix it with to make it my right color. So I'm excited to use this one. The Marc Jacobs, is this also 1 fluid ounce? Yes, I guess since they're all full-size foundations, they're all 1 fluid ounce. But yeah, that's this one. And then I have a 4th one that is like a 4th full or maybe a 3rd full, and it's from Shiseido. This is the Radiant Lifting Foundation. My mom decluttered this one to me. My aunt had given it to her, didn't match her, so she gave it to me. So yeah, it has a little bit, if you guys can see, it's down to here, so it's an airless pump, so I have from here on up. So I'm excited. It's gonna be like an easy one to use up. This is the color Natural Fair. It's gonna be a little light for me, but I think that if I can mix it with the Kat Von D, it'll create my favorite color. My perfect color, because I feel like this one is a little too dark. So those are the 4 powder foundations. Now I see here I have 2 liquid, those are the liquid foundations. I have 2 powder foundations here. And the first one is from Cover FX. This is the Pressed Mineral Foundation in the color, does it have a color? G20. This one I purchased at Marshall's for $10. Can you see that? $9.99. And I've used one of these before years ago and I remember loving it. So I hope that I love it as much as I remember loving it. As you guys can see, that's the color right there. There you go. Let's reflect. But yeah, I'm excited to try this guy and hopefully I'll love it as much as I remember loving it. And the other one is a fairly new one I purchased a couple of years ago. This is the IT Celebration Foundation in the color medium. It's just called medium. And obviously it's from IT Cosmetics. And come on. There's dog hair inside the packaging. How? I don't know. But let me take out the little paper. But this is what this one looks like. I've never used a powder foundation from IT Cosmetics, so I'm excited to try it. I just somehow accumulated so many powder foundations. I think I used up a couple this year, and then I have these 2, and then I have, I think, 1 or 2 more in my collection. So yeah, I just gotta get some use out of them. And if you guys didn't know, sometimes when I use liquid blush, I use a powder foundation. I apply the blush pretty heavily and then I use a powder foundation to tone down the color. I am wearing an actual regular blush today, and now I'm not doing that trick today. Today, like I said, it's regular blush. But in some cases that I use a liquid or a cream blush, I apply it on purpose very heavily so I can tone it down with a powder product, just because it helps me go through that blush a little bit faster. That's just how I do things. So that's that. And then I have I just chose 1 loose powder. Yeah, just the 1. I'm probably gonna go through more than these, but I decided to take it a little slow. And it's the Maybelline Fit Me Loose Finishing Powder in the color 10 Fair Light. Now, I've never been like fair light on anything, but I was comparing the color of the powder through the packaging with the L'Oreal True Match powder, like at the store, to see if like the color selection is not very good in this powder, in the Maybelline one. So I was trying to compare it with the drugstore powder that I know that I like, that I've used multiple times and I know is a good match for me. And I felt like comparing products and packaging, this would be a good fit for me. I think Love Heatherette really likes this powder, so we'll see how much I enjoy it. Hopefully it's a good one. So that's that one. It's always nice to find a nice drugstore powder foundation, setting powder, because sometimes you don't want to spend a lot of money, you know? Then I have just one powder bronzer, and it's this one from Physicians Formula, the Butter Bronzer. This is the original one that came out like many years ago, whenever this came out. This is the Light Bronzer, Butter Bronzer. I was never a fan of how it smelled, but this is so light, you guys. I'm gonna have to like really pack it on, if anything, can you guys barely see it right there? When this came out, they didn't have the same amount of the range of colored bronzers that they have now. I think back then they only had 2. This one and a darker one, like they only had 2 shades. Now they have more. But like I said, this is kind of old in my collection. This is huge, 11 grams, but because it is so light, I feel like I can go through this one no problem. So I only picked one. I am currently but I'm using one from Marc Jacobs. If you guys saw that video that I was telling you guys, it's actually the bronzer, the shade that I have on my crease. I'm using that bronzer as a bronzer and as a crease shade. So I'm like multitasking it. It does have a really nice dip. My goal is to hit pan by the end of the year. And then maybe if I finish this one fairly early in the year, then I can bring that one back and then use that one. It's not technically in my products I want to use up in 2024, but it'll be nice to have like a full-size bronzer that has progress, so that when I finish this one, I can just jump on to that one and hopefully maybe use it up. So that's that one. And then I have three, well, actually, since I'm talking about bronzers, I have one cream bronzer that I want to get through, and it's from the brand Iconic London. This one, I think it came in a Birchbox or something like that. But it's a cream bronzer, and I've never used it. As you guys can, I hope you guys can see, the tip is completely clean. Do I dare squeeze it? Yeah, that's what it looks like, and then blend it out. It seems to blend fairly easily, so we'll see. Maybe since it tends to, it looked like it blended fairly sheer, maybe I can use both of these together, since this one's very light, and hopefully I can speed my usage progress on this guy. So that's that one. And okay, so that's that. Then I have three, did I pick three? No, four. No, that's not it. I have 4 face primers, two full sizes and 2 like deluxe size samples. The full size, one of the full sizes is the Professional from Benefit. I've used one of these before and I know that I enjoyed it. The thing with this one is that I can, since you only kind of like spot use it, I can use like 2 primers at the same time, like one for just the pores, this one, and then something else for the rest of my face. So that's my thought process with this guy. Like I said, I've used one of these before and I know that I enjoyed it. It's been a minute since I've used one of these, but hopefully I like it as much as I remember. And the other full size is this one from Giorgio Armani. This is the Maestro UV Skin Defense Primer. This is supposed to have sunscreen, SPF 50. And just so you guys know how old this is, the SPF expired in 2018. So I bought this during a Nordstrom anniversary sale, maybe 2016, 17, maybe. Since this expired in 18, it had to be like way before then. So yeah, I tried it the other day and it was nice. That's why I decided to just use it up. And even though it doesn't, that sunscreen no longer is good, the product itself is good. So don't come at me in the comments about how bad it is to use old products. I do it all the time. The next 2 are deluxe size samples. The first one is from Becca. This is the Velvet Blurring Primer Perfecting Base. This is just a half fluid ounce, if I'm not mistaken. This is so small. Yeah, half fluid ounce. It's an airless pump. Unfortunately, you can't see through the packaging, but you know, that's that. And the other one, oh no, it's an eye primer. So I only have 3. I only have 3 face primers. So let's segue into eye primer, shall we? The first one that I have here is the one that I thought was a face primer. This is the Lorac Behind the Scenes Eye Primer. This is a little one. I don't know if they still do, but back a couple of years ago, a few years ago I should say, they used to send one of these in like almost every single eyeshadow palette that they had. So eyeshadow primer, I've used it. I know that I like it, so I'm happy to use it. Then I have 2 little ones. This is, how much is this? 0.19 ounces or 5.5 grams. There's not a lot in here, so I feel like I can use the other 2 that I have here. The first one being the one from Anastasia of Beverly Hills. It's still in its little box. This one is only 2 ml, very little product, so I feel like I can go through this one fairly quickly. And the other one is from Ulta Beauty. This is the matte eye primer in the color Nude. I tried panning one of these this year, and within 2 months or something, it dried out. It got super hard. I couldn't squeeze it out of the tube. In no way, shape, or form did I finish it. But because it dried out so fast, I figured, let me just use this one now before it goes bad. This one, you can't tell, or maybe you can, but it's still shrink wrapped. So I've never opened it, so it's never been exposed to air. So hopefully the product still is good. I've had this for a while, but given that I had a bad experience with the other one, I just want to use it up as much as I can and get it out of my collection. If it dries out, it dries out. It is what it is. It's what happened to the one that I used this year. So there you have it. That's why I'm comfortable. This one, I feel like I'm not gonna get through it before it dries out. And then this one is gonna finish really fast because it's so tiny. And then this one, I think I can use it up by the end of the year. So that's that. Then let's talk about blush, shall we? I have one cream blush that I want to get through this year, and it's from Tarte. This is the Breezy Cream Blush in the color Peach Sunset. This came in a Sephora Favorites bag a couple years ago. It's a very pretty color. As you guys can see, I have swatched it already just to see what it looked like, and I enjoyed it. I thought it was great. So that is this guy. And how much product is in here? 2.5 grams. You guys, I don't know why blush is really easy for me to pan, so I'm not concerned about that at all. And then I have an e.l.f. blush palette. And in this palette, I have three blushes and a highlighter. Believe it or not, this is a blush. So there used to be 4 blushes in here, but then I had one of the palettes like this that was like face powder and a couple of bronzers and a highlighter. So it was more of a face palette, I should say, than a blush palette. And so I ended up combining one of the blushes into that palette, and I swapped it for the highlighter here. And so I decided to just pan this and hopefully get it out of the way. This highlighter is so nice. It kind of, here, I swatched it here. It kind of reminds me of the Hourglass Ambient Powders. Like, I was expecting it to be like really stark white, and I was like, oh man, how am I gonna use it? But once I swatched it, I was like, this is actually really nice. I'm not gonna struggle with this at all. And then these 2 blushes, I can make them work. It's this one. This one is this one. And then the lighter pink one is this one right here, a lot lighter. So maybe I can mix them to lighten this one a little bit. And then this one, the orangey shade, I thought maybe I could use as a bronzer, because my gosh, look at that color. So I feel like maybe I can make it work as a bronzer if I go really light-handed with it. So that's my plan on using this guy. I don't know how much product is in here. I feel like there's maybe about 2 grams of powder in here. Unfortunately, the amount of product is in the packaging, like in the cardboard packaging, and not on the actual packaging itself. In the back, it only says light and then the lot numbers. So we'll see how I can go through that guy, but I feel like I can. I feel like I can finish it. Then I have 2 cream highlighters. One is a little deluxe size, and it's from the brand Nude Sticks. This is the Nudies All Over Face color in the color Illumi Naughty, like in a naughty, like I'm a naughty person. And this is what this guy looks like. This one is really stark white. It almost looks like duochrome, but can you even see it? Oh, it's right here. So this is gonna be very pretty to use and easy, I think. And then the other one is a full size from Merit. This is in the color, it's a highlighting balm in the color Kava. I'm trying to show you guys, but I can't see. So that's a heavy swatch, obviously, but once you blend it out, it just looks pretty. So this one, I feel like doesn't have a lot of product either, and I feel like I can go through it fairly quickly. That's how much product is in here, and especially if I use it like all over the body, neck and shoulders in the summertime, it should be very, very easy to pan. And I like these because both of them, they're not glittery and chunky. They're just very natural, glowy products. So that's that. Oh my gosh, the time. I have one concealer. This is from, oh no, this is a highlighter. This is the Tarte Shape Tape Glow Wand in the color Alight. It's just a little highlighter. I think I used one of these earlier this year. I can't remember, but that's another one. Then I have 3 eyeliners. One is a liquid one that my mom gave me. That's why it's open. She didn't like it. This is from Revlon. This is the Dramatic Wear Liquid Eye Pen. Oh, I opened it. And it's just a felt tip. Is it a felt tip? Oh yeah. It's a felt tip liquid liner, but it has kind of like a blunt cut. It's not like pointed. So that's kind of weird. She didn't like it, so she gave it to me. I'm not a fan of regular liquid liners. I prefer them to be waterproof, but I figured I could use it, you know? And then I have 2 other pencil highlighters, eyeliners. One is a black one and one is a brown one. They're from the brand Shani. I got a kit from Makeup last year for Christmas. I decluttered like 90% of that stuff, and I kept a few other things. These two were in there, and since they're deluxe size samples, a brown and a black eyeliner, I feel like I can use them no problem. And then, last but not least, I have 3 single shadows. I picked one that I've had for a very long time, and it's time that I use it up, and it's a little deluxe, a sample from Makeup Forever. This is the Artist Shadow in the color I-544, and it's kind of, I don't want to say pewter, because I don't think it's pewter. It's kind of taupey purpley shade. That's this right here. Kind of like a bruise color. There's not a lot of product in here, 0.7 grams, so it's smaller than a full size. And hopefully I can go through this guy. I've had this guy for a while, so it's time that I use it up. And then I have 2 from ColourPop. I would like 2024 to be the year where I get back into my Super Shock shadow, so I'd like to finish 2. I have this one in the color DGAF. This one obviously I have swatched, as you guys can see right here, but other than that, this is fairly new, very glittery shade. So that's this one. Should I swatch it for you guys? Do you care? It's this one right here. And I can tell by that swatch when I was swirling my finger, these are getting dry, so it's time that I use them up. And then the one that I'm wearing today, it's this one. It's in the color Fringe. And when I used up my Pan That palette, this one feels a lot creamier, maybe because I've been using it. And it's this one right here, or like I said, the one in my eyes. I started using this one as my crease shade, and that's what I've been using. This one on my crease, and then my bronzer on this one on the lid, and the bronzer on the crease, because I don't want to dive into my Pan That palette until I actually introduce it. So you guys might be seeing this look for a few videos until I introduce my Pan That palette. But anyway, those are all the things that I hope I can finish and use up, or mainly finish by the end of 2024. I'm already digging through things in here, and hopefully you guys enjoy it. So thank you guys so much for watching, and wish me luck, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.